Hey Fiskateers, I wanted to share with you a little project I'm working on. One of the fun things about going to CHA every year is partnering with some of our friends who work for different manufacturers. So our friend Ken Oliver invited me over to the Unibind booth for the CHA, and I'm going to bring over all my favorite Fiskars tools, and I'm going to use some of the Unibind products to make a fun little make and take book with anyone who stops by that day. So I thought I would show you what I'm making. Okay, so I'm starting off with some Hambly paper that I just happen to have on hand. You can use any brand of paper. So just use some fun, bright colors, but you can see I have a big selection here. I'm going to start off with this really pretty translucent piece. It's turquoise and silver. I just like it. And basically, because I'm using a 4x6 book, I want to have approximately, I'm going to cut about 8 inches by 12 inches. Now the page is already 12 by 12, so I only need to make this one cut and make it about 8 inches or so. So I'm going to move my trimmer off to the side, and this is going to work for me. Now I have this really thick piece of paper, so depending on the kind of paper you use, you may want to get a little bit more fussy with how you fold this paper. So I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise. And what I could do if I wanted a really nice fold is I can use the scoring blade on my Fiskars trimmer, but I can also use my brand new Fiskars bone folder. So I love bone folders. If you've ever seen me do crafts, you know I talk about that all the time. It's my favorite low-tech tool, and I'm so thrilled that Fiskars has come out with one. And it helps me get a really sharp edge. So love it. So now I have a nice little fold here, but this is almost double the size of my book, so I'm going to fold it in half one more time. And again, I'd like to have that beautiful crisp fold. So I'm going to do all my folding first and get that out of the way. So here we go. So now I've essentially created a little booklet within a booklet. Now if I want to get fancy, I have all these fun border punches. So let's say I wanted to use my threading water, or you could use any border punch that you have. Maybe at the show I'll use some of my new ones. So I have this really fun one called Washed Ashore, and it's got a really beautiful pattern at the bottom. But today this border punch is already open. It's one of my favorites. So I'm just going to go ahead and border punch along the top. Oops. Now people always ask me this at a show. I call that kind of missing a tooth right there. So I'm going to just go back in, fix where I skipped. And then I'm just going to do this all the way along the top. And then I'll show you what to do after that. So you can see that I've border punched along the top here. I've actually done the whole length of this piece of paper that we folded just on this one side. So if it was completely open, you'd see border punch at the top, not at the bottom. It's not necessary. And what we're going to do is, since we already have it nice and folded, you can see that what we've done is essentially create a cute little pocket here. So I have my scallop edge bumped up to the back side of a piece of paper. Then there's an opening where we folded, right? And then there's also another little pocket here. All we need to do is have this closed off to make a nice pocket to put little elements in that don't fall out. So in order to do that, that's where the photo book comes in. So what I'll do for the make and take is have the open ends of my design put right into the spine of the book. And then Ken's taught me this really cool trick with the photo binding system. While we're binding that paper, we're able to put a little bit of ribbon, or we can put a little bit of tulle right inside of the binding. And I'm going to have Ken do all the binding stuff. He's the expert, but it's actually pretty easy. I do my own at home. But we'll put the tulle right in there with the paper so that everything gets bound together. So this tulle is going to be the handle of my little pocketbook, and it will be professionally bound right in there. And all we need to do is ask Ken to put our book right on this photo book creator, turn it on. It just takes a, gosh, I don't even remember. It's so quick. And the elements will heat up the binding and we'll be good to go. And everything will be professionally bound in, and then we can embellish the top. So I'm thinking for embellishing the top, I'll probably use some of my Fiskars squeeze punches and use those basil buttons that were sent to me. And so let me work on that and I'll show you a mini completed project. Alright, so I've completed the outside of my book, and let me show you what I've done. I had some extra scraps of the Hambly paper, and so I just added the same border detail. So any Fiskars border punch that you have would be really cute along the bottom here, and this is to act like the flap that comes over a purse that helps close it. And then of course every purse has a little latch or a button, so I'm using this cute little basil button. But I thought I would give it a little more detail, so I used my new Fiskars spring punch, and I just punched a little piece of coordinating Hambly paper. So just to give it a little fun detail at the front. So this is now truly my pocketbook. So when you open up the pocketbook, you'll be able to see that you have the fun little pockets that we've made here, and look, anything that you want to slip inside. It's a little Hambly rub-on, so maybe I can give this as a gift to someone who also likes Hambly, and put a little couple gifties in there and some extra scraps or little pieces of rub-ons that I have. But this is going to come out now, and you can flip through the pages and have little pockets and all kinds of hidden surprises inside of your book. I think this will be fun. I'm looking forward to making these with everybody.